Everything is good. So let's start our revision. And as you know, if you follow our activities on social media, and absolutely you will know that weekly, then Evocument organize different revision topics in SIP level 4. We also want to do level 5, but it depends on the number of interest that we receive. Anyway, then weekly we commit to do the revision for different level 4 modules. And last week we did with F1 3. And this week, let's come with F1 4, um, which is previously it was a very long module and with very extensive list of topics, like ranging from sourcing techniques, ranging from the criteria to the legislation, regulations, and the impact on sourcing, and also import export documentation, and then Incoterms, payment mechanism, ethical and responsible sourcing. So you can see that there are a lot of things in F4. And in the new study guide, in the 2023 study guide, then they have curtailed some content from 4. However, then the list of subject is still extensive. So it can be quite challenging for many students, especially when you don't have experience in some particular areas, like the impact of regulations or import and export. And that will be our focus today. We only have 1 hour of discussion. So it is we have very limited time to do the whole module. Instead, I think we should focus on some important topics and the topic that you feel not confident about. Okay, so today then we'll try to do majorly 3 topics at least. First, the contract award. Okay, majorly about the criteria, potential criteria, and how we can award the contract, like the mechanisms for contract award. Second, then we have the legislation. Where's the legislation? Okay, what kind of legislation may have impact on procurement and on sourcing? And the third topic will be on import documentation, where we will see different types of documentation and what can be their implication in your international sourcing. You know that a part of procurement is to source, is to find the source for your supply. And sometimes you need to purchase from overseas. That's why we need to understand about international sourcing. Okay, I hope that every participant here know how to connect the audio. It is at the bottom of your screen. Just click on it and accept, especially when you're a phone. When you are on a phone, then click on it, then allow your device, allow the app, the Zoom app, to have the access to your microphone and the speaker. Okay, and then when you connect, then you can hear my voice and you can hear our discussion. Hey, pay attention to that. Zoom doesn't have the default audio connection. You need to enable it manually. Okay, it's kind of like some nuisance, but you need to do it anyway. Okay, so pay attention to that. And now I will go into the details of these subjects. All right, so the first subject is on contract awards. Actually, then uh, there are not many things to talk about this. First, we need to okay, not this one first, but instead, then we may need to understand different assessment methods. In the exam, then I remember that there was a very popular question. It goes like this: we have kind of like a company wanting to purchase like 500 uh, pens with special with a particular name of the brand, okay, with some brand name. So the question is whether they should adopt the weighted score system for that type purchase. Really a yes no question, and the answer here is absolutely no. When we purchase something very basic, very standardized, or with brand name, then we don't use, generally don't use the weighted score because there are no other considerations beside the price. Okay, so with those kind of purchase, then we focus mostly on the price. Come back to our lesson. Then, majorly, we have two basic assessment methods when it comes to the contract award. When you want to decide which supplier you want to engage with. Okay, the first method will be only based on the price. Majorly, then you can imagine about the request quotation, and you only compare the price, and the purchase is highly standardized, or it has pretty low value, okay, to be justified for other more advanced way of selection. The other way to select a supplier will be based on multiple criteria. Besides the price, then you need to select supplier based on a balanced mix of price, quality, and other added value. So by this way, then we often use the weighted score system where we consider different criteria and also we assign some weight on each criterion. Okay, and the way, yeah, the size of the weight can be varied based on the importance of each criterion. All right, so lastly, we have the weighted score and assessment based on the price only. With weighted score, then we need to select some criteria for assessment. And now you can come back to here. In the study guide, you can see that the may suggest some key award criteria, something like the price, but the price is not okay. The purchase price is not the only consideration here. We need also consider about the whole life cost or the total cost here. Okay, so with the price, then we need to take into account some other methods like the currency, exchange rate, Incoterms, and we need to standardize the way. Okay, there are other criteria such as technical merit. Um, this means that whether the supplier has the ability to deliver the product or the service to the buyer. Technical merit is shown by the way they represent their specification in the way that they suggest their solution for your problem. Okay, as long as they can propose a specification that match that matches your expectation, your requirements, then they have the technical merit. However, then if you want to have kind of like more time to look at their ability, then you can have technical merit in the supply selection in the pre-qualification questionnaire. By this way, then you can ensure that your supplier have the necessary um, technical ability to perform the contract. We may need to consider other criteria such as the financial capacity, especially when the project is long and risky. Then the supplier may need to have enough financial resources to sustain basic operations. Okay, when they take more project at the moment, or maybe on the quality commitment, whether they can provide consistent quality, okay, on mass scale, and also on the kind of like ethical and responsible things. We may need to consider about um, ESG, okay, environmental, social, governance, and you can qualify a supplier based on their certification or based on their written policy. Okay, so with the contract award, then there's nothing to touch. Um, there are not many things to talk about. And when you select the with the score system, then the job here will be about like select a few criteria. For example, here in my table, I have three criteria like the quality, the price, the lead time. There's some criteria that you may have kind of like pass fail yeah kind of like pass fail criterion, but there are other criteria where you can give them a mark and give them some weight. First of all, here I have three bits from three suppliers, and I also have three criteria: the quality, the price, and the lead time. With the quality, then I will have the pass-fail criterion. It means that if they don't submit the specification or the sample that I want to see, then I may let them fail. And I don't need to consider any other criteria at all. But if they can provide something that I want, then I can give them a pass and I may consider other criteria like the price and the lead time. Okay, with the price, I put it with 60% weight, and lead time I put it like 40% weight. Okay, so when I open the bit and see their suggestion, then I can keep the score. Like with the price, salary B has 85, salary C has 80. With the lead time, salary B has 40. It means that they don't deliver on very short notice, or they may not have the consistent delivery. Okay, maybe longer delay or something like that. Why with the supply C, then they have 70. These are the score, not the days or not any other unit like the dollar or something like that. Okay, so with the score, then we give each criterion some score, and then we add them together with the weight. Okay, so we have the result. Satellite B has the total result is 67, and satellite C has the total result of 76. Okay, so satellite C is the winner here. They are the winner. And we may start to notify them about this opportunity and whether they want to negotiate and sign the contract. If they reject, then we can come to supply B. Okay, so this is the way to score. And yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention one more thing about different criteria. Okay, so with well, when you assess the quotation or the bid or the tender, then we may need to look at different information, and we need to kind of like interpret the information into something that match our organization's objectives and so on. So normally, then we ask in the quotation in the request for quotation or in the invitation tender that they need to submit some information like their addresses, their business, okay their major product or so on. Okay, a lot of other information, and especially they need to submit about their suggestion about their specification, about the lead time, suggested lead time, and on the price. So the thing is, we need to interpret this thing into our operation. Okay, the lead time here can be interpreted as the way, or uh, this can be interpreted as the potential capacity from supplier. If the supplier may deliver the product in relatively short notice, it means that they have a lot of inventory and they are ready to deliver it anyway. But if they suggest long lead time, then they may have some problem with their capacity. They don't have enough personals and machines to process our batch product. So lead time can be an indicator of the capacity, and this can be a question in the exam. Okay, they can ask you like which of the following may indicate about supply capacity, and the answer will be about lead time. About the quality, then we may rely on the specification, or about the quality commitment, then we may rely on some certification like ISO 9001. All right. So that's all for quotation and tender. Sorry, and also about the contract award. Let's move on other topic. Let's move on other topic.
So
Yeah.
I have one question.
Yes, please.
Yeah. So specifications, what specifications you need?
Okay. It depends on on the kind of tendering process you want to use. This one is another part of the study guide. Okay, I need to open that. Please wait. This one is another part of study guide. It has connection with different parts, you know that, and study guide is also long. So I'm talking about um I'm talking about the contract report, but your question suggests something else from study guide. Okay, and let me open this. How you should choose and which kind process you should choose for your purchase.
So, for example, I procure material for construction. So,
Yep,
for building materials, there are small items like
yep,
hand gloves and PVC bucket,
yep,
mason trowel.
yep.
Yeah. So, there are different companies. They put their own brand name, their own specification. So very much confusion, and the price is also different. For example, wire nail, it's some boxes of 18 kg, some boxes of 17 kg, and then polythene
Yeah.
sheet, 1000 gauge, 900 gauge. It becomes very difficult to choose which is the right one and the right
Okay.
price.
Yeah. With the question, then I think that you need to kind of like design your procurement process in a way. Okay. Did you ever heard about standardization?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that's good. So with standardization, then you may ask your supplier to submit, or at least you have some benchmark for your selection. Uh, I can see that you purchase the building material from the suppliers, and I know that there are a lot of different type material out there, and also you need to manage a huge portfolio because you also have many different types of building materials like bricks, cement, the steel beam, and so on. Okay, so
Right.
the
Right.
first thing you need to do is to design your own catalog of product. Okay, with the brick, then you may standardize the type of the brick that you want to do, like the size of the brick or something like that. I don't know much about the construction, so I think that you understand. You may consult the industry standard, especially the standard from your country. Okay, you may consult the industry standard about different type of material. With the steel beam, then maybe like you need to standardize in the size, like with the size of like diameter of possible 10 centimeter or so on. Sorry if I am wrong because I don't know much about this industry. Anyway,
Yeah, that is
then
very helpful. Yeah, I will suggest my manager so that we can standardize. Like we have many sites ongoing, so
yep,
different sites use a different materials. Some
yep,
uses 1,000 gauge, some uses 800 gauge, like this. And bricks also, hollow bricks
yep,
are there. Yeah,
yeah, I know.
thermal block. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so the first thing here you need to do is to standardize your materials and include all of them into a catalog. Maybe you need to have some system for electronic catalog where you can have your list of material and their variations. Okay, it is not necessary that across your company you should use only one type brick, but you may standardize and manage its variation. However, then you know that if we standardize, like we only use one type brick or one type of steel beam, then you may have the economy scale because you may purchase for various projects. Okay, and you may reach economy scale because of the bulk purchase, and you may get a discount. Okay, and
Sorry to interrupt. In this
yeah,
case, it's like, in construction, there is certain budget is allocated to a certain project. Like if we
yeah,
are doing some high value projects, so we use high quality materials.
yeah.
If we are
Okay, I
doing
understand.
yeah, if we doing a project of warehouse or school, like normal quality of materials. So in this case, yeah, your suggestion, it's really appreciated. First, before starting the project, I will ask manager to standardize the material which are rebuy again and again we buy,
Yep,
normal things we can standardize it, and then we can make a contract, and then
yep.
we can float the RFP in the market, and then we can compare the quotation. Yeah, that was really a good idea. Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right, so here then your problem is better defined in L4M2 rather than in L4M4. Okay, so we may adopt the standardization, especially you may establish a catalog of your purchase products in particular project. Okay, you don't need to standardize across your organization, but in different projects, then we may need to standardize the material, and it would be better for you and better for your company to ask a quotation based on the standards and then compare different offer together. Okay, that would be better. All right,
That
I
is
hope that I.
really, yeah, really helpful, really good idea. Yes.
Yep. Okay, thank you very much. All right, I think that we should move on with other topic as well. Okay, today would be very long. All right. The second thing that I want to talk today is about the legislations and regulations that may have the impact. on procurement. Okay, you may argue that you are working at private sector like with sorry after that then he works in construction in UAE. Okay, that is the private sector. So maybe you have like virtually no regulations on you, but in fact then we when we in this modern world, then our industries are often regulated, and depending on the type industry then we may have different regulations and legislation. Okay, in the study guide and on my slide here I suggest some areas of regulations that may have impact on your operation. Okay, the most the thing that you may sense the most would be something like consumer protection regulations. You may search your own country your own country laws and regulations on this, like you may include something in the Google, like consumer protection act or consumer protection law in Uganda or in South Africa or in UAE, depending on your country. Okay, it is better to study from your own country. Okay, in the study guide they suggest about the regulations and legislation from UK, EU, USA, and Australia. Okay, rather than focusing on and many students here coming from different countries, developing countries in Africa, in Middle East, and in Asia. Okay, so you may need to customize your own study by researching your country regulations on different area. Okay, come back to my discussion. Then um, there are many regulations that may have the impact on your operations, and I think that the closest one would be on the consumer protection and the health and safety. With consumer protection, then um, beside that, the state may have some regulations on the right of the consumer and the responsibility of the producer, of the retailers, of the wholesalers. They have other regulations. They have other regulations on something like the standard. Okay, something you can imagine that. First of all, the your home electronic devices, they have the standards in EU for electronic devices to be traded in the market. They need to have the CE. Okay, you can turn up any of your computer, laptop, or phone. Sorry, if with the phone, then it is very hard to see. But I can see it at the bottom of my phone. I use yeah, not here, but with other devices like with my USB I have right here. Then it has um a small note of C here. It means that my USB can be used safely in Europe. And similarly, and even with your clothes, like your day-to-day clothes or the toy, your children toy, okay, they also have the standard, and all of these standards are there to protect the consumer, especially regarding the health and safety of the consumer. Okay, the toy must not be made from some toxic material. The electronic devices must have some mechanism to prevent the fire or to prevent the accident. Okay, so with different products, then they have different standard, and you need to understand the standard, the applicable standard in your country. You can do that by going to Google and search for some term. Okay, like the standard for electronic devices in UAE. Okay, I believe that there will be some result, some helpful results. You need to do that research. Okay, and also why it is important here? Because you know that we have a standard. So it means that your company needs to follow that standard. Okay, and they need to purchase something uh, in the conformance to those standards. Okay, that's why it has the impact on procurement. Okay, besides this, then we have the health safety regulation as well, especially the occupational health and safety. The worker in a company should have adequate safety gears and so on, and protection and so on. All right, so you need to understand the regulation there and apply in your company, especially to prevent the risk of being fined, or being sued, okay, by the employees or by the union. And there are other areas of regulations like environmental regulations. When you may need to consider about the impact of your purchase to the environment, then you need to understand the regulations there. Like what kind of substance is banned in your country, what kind of substance you may use, what kind of substance you may not use in your operation. Furthermore, then there are other area regulations like the contract or the competition. Competition here is a particular area of legislation that regulate the relationship between between the dominant players in the market and the consumer and the state and the government. So you know that in some specific industry like with the electricity supply, water supply, telephone, telecommunication, then those markets are dominated by a few players. And you may open Facebook, may open your WhatsApp or whatever social app that you use, and you see that on global scale. Then social media is dominated by a few players like Facebook, TikTok, Google with YouTube, of course, uh, X Corp or previously Twitter, and so on. So with that kind of oligopoly, then the businesses have absolutely very high market power. So there must be something to limit them, and the government use competition regulations to do that. They limit the pricing power of the dominant businesses, especially in the market that with only a few businesses or with only one. Okay, so this is an area of regulations, and why you need to pay attention to this? Just because your company need to follow the regulations, so you may need to give them the advice, like particularly in procurement. Then you need to give them the advice, like what kind of action or engagement that they need to do or that they need to avoid. Okay. Oh yeah, okay. I am looking at the chat and I see very interesting suggestion from Go Kelo. Yeah, of course we can do the
Mr. Daniel,
can
can
do
you?
yeah.
Hello. Sorry for intervention. Mr. Daniel, can you share can you share the screen so that we can be with you and write some comments?
Yes, I'm sharing my screen. Can you see it now?
I cannot. I cannot see.
Okay, so maybe you may try to exit this leave the meeting and join again. I'm sharing, of course, I'm sharing. I'm not sure if other participant experience the same thing. Could you see my screen now?
Yes, we are able to see the
Yes, we
screen.
can.
Okay, so All right. I don't pay attention
Yes,
who
yes,
just
yes,
talked
yes,
previously,
yes,
but
yes.
if you cannot see the screen, then you may try to leave the meeting and join again. Yeah, Ahmed and Kapari. All right. So if anyone experience the problem, then you may try to leave and join again. I can wait. All right. Let me continue. Let me continue. Okay. So here we have different subjects and areas of regulations, and um, this one is more relevant. In actually, it is more relevant in L4M1 and L4M8 rather than L4M4. In the previous syllabus and in previous exams, then I haven't seen any question on this one. But with L4M1 and L4M8, then you may need to base your answer on this. Okay, previously with F1 in March and last year in also in March, then they have the questions on different regulations on private sector, okay, and public sector. So these regulations may have the same impact on both sectors. Okay, and with public sector, then they also need to follow the rules regarding public accountability, regarding public procurement as well. They have the specific rules for that. Okay, so here is about different areas of legislation, and yeah, I just list them here. Okay, and I am not sure about the type of question they may ask here, but anyway, then it is a wrong assumption that private sector has no regulations or legislation. In fact, then we in both in every sector, public, private, and third sector, then we all have the same. We all have the legislations, and depending on sector, then we may have different kind. But with procurement, then you may need to pay attention to consumer protection, product standard, health safety, environment. Okay, they tend to have they tend to affect your product standard and your purchase activities. Okay, so you may need to pay attention to that. All right. That was about regulations. And now we can move on with the um, part on the different import documentation. But before talking about the documents, then I need to say a bit about why the country need to control the import. Why we can just like go to the market, buy something from overseas supplier, and then bring it back to our country. Okay, without any hurdle. So the problem is the state, the government want to control the import. Okay, first thing, then they provide the vital revenue for the state, especially when the economy is experiencing the quick growth. Then they may want to collect as much tax as possible, and import tariff is a considerable source of income. That's why they need to control the import. Second, then as you know, as I said previously, then we have the regulations on consumer protection and on product standard. On product standard. So the thing is, different countries may have different product standard, and um, normally then more developed country tend to have stricter regulations, while developing country tend to have looser regulations. The thing is, they can purchase poor quality product from some distant country and bring to your country. Okay, and that may harm the consumer in your country. That's why we need to, sorry, the government need to limit the import and control the import. There are other reasons, like they need to protect and um, implement the industrial policy. They want to develop some industries in the country, and they don't want to have cheap products from other country. They want to have cheap product from other country, so they need to rise higher tariff and impose a quota on the import. That's why when we do the import, then we need to make a lot of paperwork. Okay, and um, they tend to be more and more complicated as the war advance through as the war advance. All right, so let's look at different import document. In a study guide, they may suggest there are some document, um, but their title doesn't say about like necessary document. They don't sort them in the order of importance. Instead, then they just list the document randomly. Here, then I would like to provide some more context about different import document. Okay, so imagine that you need to purchase something from overseas, and your purchase product need to go through your country custom service or your country custom agency. The first thing you need to do is to make a declaration. Depending on the country, and this one can be called the bill entry or custom declaration. It informs the custom service, the custom agent about your purchase product, your imported product. Okay, about the type, about the quality. No, not quality. About the type, about the quantity, about the potential tariff that they may impose, and about the time as well, the time of import. Okay, so that they can do their own statistic and calculate their duty. Sorry, calculate your duty, and you need to pay the tax. The second and also very important document would be the commercial invoice. Um, Maybe you need to declare the value of your product in your bill entry or in the declaration, but they may want to see the true value of your of your import. So they may need to ask you to provide a copy of commercial invoice. Okay, and it will be the base to calculate the duty. The third document extremely important, and maybe there are kind of like 3 to 4 questions on this kind of document. We have the bill ready. In the case of using sea transport, then we use bill ready. But in the case that we use air transport, then it can be called airway bill. But anyway, then either the name, regardless of the name, then these document tend to do the same function. Basically, they serve as two functions. First, building or the airway bill is a contract between the importer or the exporter and the carrier of the goods. Okay, it is kind of like a contract for transportation. Specify the party, specify the instruction for the carrier. Okay, which part they need to go, what can be the area of responsibility of the consignee and the consigner. Okay, so it is a legal document. It is a contract, and it may need to have may need to have the sign, the signature from the consigner and the consignee, and also other instruction and the conditions, etc. And when the goods reach the port of destination, then the airway bill or the bill heading may serve another purpose. It can be an evidence of title. It can be an evidence of title. Okay, especially when you use some payment method like document collections or letter credit or documentary credit, then the building or the airway bill is a key to those kind of payment. If you have the ability, you can go to the port and show it to your authority, and then ask them to release the goods from their warehouse or from their dockyard. Okay, without it, then it is very hard for you to claim the goods. Okay, if we have time, I can explain it later. Okay, how it works with different type of payment mechanisms. But we need to prioritize our part as well. Okay, so building serve two purpose, and that could be a question in the exam. Okay, they may ask you like, what is the use of building or airway bill in international sourcing? Okay, they serve two purpose. First, a contract or a legal document, and second, the evidence of title. There are other type document. I can see here. I can say here we have a packing list. You know that when we do international sourcing, and we often store our product within something like a container. And within the container, then the carrier of the goods may pack different goods together. So it is necessary that with each container, then it has a packing list, so that the custom agents may go to the port and check whether you conform with the regulations. And finally, sorry, not final here, but we may need to have the purchase order or the contract. It is the evidence of transaction. It shows that you have a legal relationship with your exporter, okay, with your supplier, and it shows that your declaration is truthful. Um, there are other documents, and they are also mentioned in the study guide. You can see insurance certificate. It is just an evidence of your insurance policy where you're insured or your goods are insured against the risk of losses and damages. Okay, I have an exact S here. All right. We have the insurance certificate here. We have the certificate origins. Actually, then this one is not necessary. It is not necessary. Certificate origin or CO is particularly helpful when there is some kind of free trade agreement between your country and the country origin. So the seal, in that case, it will show that the goods originates. It really has the origin from the exporter country, so that the goods may enjoy some favorable tax treatment, like it may have duty relief or something like that. You may have kind of like pay zero tax on your import, for example. All right. So other document may have the import license. They also not necessary every case, but you know that in your country there are some type goods that require stricter control, like military hardware. Normal people or normal businesses cannot just go to the market, purchase some kind of like tank or warplane and bring to the country. Okay, they don't have the authority to do that. Instead, then only the permitted importer may purchase that, like the Ministry of Defense or their subsidiary. So, import license is not necessary in every purchase, but it can apply a special license in particular industry where they need to have stricter control of the import. And finally, this one also come from study guide. We have the carnet, the carnet. Actually, then I remember that this one is a French word, so it should be pronounced like canet, canet. Okay, it's French. So canet is they often compare it to a passport. It means that when the carrier bring the goods from the exporter country, from the country origin to your country, then they often don't go in a straight line. They don't go straight from, for example, from China to France or from India to South Africa. Okay, but instead, then they often leverage the economy scale, and they may receive a lot of goods. They may reach a lot of destination, and especially when there are when your country is a landlocked country like Uganda or Botswana or Zambia, then it may go through the ports of some neighbor country and then go to your warehouse. So in that case, then your goods need to go through the other country, like to import into Botswana. Then you need to your goods need to go through Namibia or go through the South Africa. So in that case, then your good is not officially imported into Namibia or South Africa. Instead, then they just go transit over there. So carnet is kind of like a passport. It show to the country custom agent that the goods does not stay there forever, but they will be transported into another country soon. So with Carnet, then first the goods can be transported freely in the country, and second, then it may exempt the goods from paying duties, especially it is going through the transiting country. Chesapeake country. Okay, so Connect is kind of like passport. The thing is, in study guide, we don't have Cane. Cane import license, certificate origin. Instead, they often ask about the bill letting or the purchase order or the bill entry or custom declaration. Okay, so you may need to pay attention to these to these documents. Okay, so I see that the time is almost over. Although I want to include some option topics here, but the time doesn't allow that. Okay, so before we conclude our session, then I'd like to see your concern. Okay, do you have any particular question for me regarding L4M4? Yeah, with the question from Telefia. Yes, of course. The meeting is being recorded, and we are recording it to Zoom Cloud, and it may take some time for it to be exported. So don't worry. Then I have your email. Okay, you all do the registration on Zoom website, and also I have the report of who is joining and who is not joining. So I will send you the email of the recording as well as the slide after this meeting. Okay, any other question?
So we will stop here, Mr. Daniel.
Yeah, sorry, okay, I only plan it for 1 hour. And also, it is pretty late my time. I'm also very tired, so I think we must stop here. But if you have any concern, then I will try to help you first. I'm very happy that today I see there are over 30 participants joining my meeting. Okay, at the height. Okay, maybe some people experiencing bad network connection, so they leave early. But anyway, then almost now, at least I see there's 27 participants. Very impressive number. Okay, I hope that my session is helpful. And okay, you know that we provide these sessions for free, and but however, then we also need to support our own operation, support our own life and business. So if you want to help us, then just go to Udemy, search for our practice questions. I believe that they will be very helpful for you as well. Okay, we may provide the help through the practice questions or revision class. But
Mr. Daniel,
currently,
I think, yeah.
yeah.
Mr. Daniel, I think the student who's use to attend for participation with EV procurement, I think we should provide them a discount code which is attractive them to buy more than one model in one season. For me, I'm interested in, to buy one Udemy questions or two Udemy, depend on the discount provided by EV procurement. Thank you.
Oh yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, currently we have discount. Let me check the code. Let me check the code. Jessica, can you share me the code? I don't remember it right now. Okay, she leaves early. All right, so I need to find the code. Jessica, can you share the code to the participant? Please wait. I'm checking the code. All right, so currently then we don't have the code for discount like $9.99, but we have a code for discount from okay about 40%. Okay, you can apply the code CIPS04 CIPS04. Okay, here's a code. Okay, thank you, Jessica. SIP04 is the active coupon code. Next week, then next Monday, then we may create a new coupon code, and every one of you will receive the notification on this. Okay, but currently, then we have the code like SIP04, SIP04. Okay, this is a current code. All right. So if you are in hurry, then you may purchase from Udemy website by now. But if you can wait, then on Monday we'll release new code with a heavier discount. Okay. So any other question?
Thank you, Daniel, from my side now. None. Is there any personal email we can approach you immediately or WhatsApp?
Yeah, of course. We have the contact here. Um, by anyway, then we are responsive. Okay, by either way, you
Thank
can
you.
message us on WhatsApp or email us from at evacument@evacument.edu.vn.
Thanks you. Great, great. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So you may capture this slide and contact us later. All right. Yeah. Thank you, Josephine. Yes, of course. We have other discussion session. Um, every week. Then we plan for one session. Maybe not next week. Next week is our holiday. Okay, we may have a break, but after that, then we have another session. Do you have any suggestions for us, like what module, and what topic we need to cover in the next session? What subject or what topic we need
My
to cover? Yeah.
my suggestion would be module 3, contracts on contracts.
Oh, yeah. Actually, then we had a session on M3 last week. So I
Oh,
see two more suggestions on M5, one suggestion on M3. Okay, we all have the recording on Zoom Cloud. So if you want to rewatch our M3, then we can do that. But
yes.
if there are more requests, then I may reopen M3 as well. Okay, I see that M3 has a lot of requests here. Okay, Susan, M4 on tenders. Okay, yeah, let's consider about it. How about this? Then I will do a poll and you decide what topic come next. Yeah, I need to add a new poll. It's a bit late. Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Daniel, maybe even me as well. The weaknesses that I have in the last two performance report is in model 2 and 3.
Yeah. 2 and 3.
Yes,
So
I think
yeah,
I
I
think
see that.
it's a
Um.
common most of the students.
Oh, okay. So let's run a poll and we'll decide which topic come next. Which module do you want to add in the next session? Okay, and we have M L4 M3, L4M4, L4M5, L4M6, Um, L4M7. Okay. Yeah, you may have other session as well. Please wait. I'm waiting for it to launch. Okay, so you can see on your screen is a poll, and we may decide the next topic based on the result. Okay, please have your vote here. Okay, let me hear us. Let me hear you. Yeah. Okay, I'm seeing a race between M3 and M4. A lot of requests there. Okay, M3 is going. It's winning, but it's tie now.
Yeah, Mr. Daniel, I think we can use your the long experience with SIPs uh,
Yeah.
in minimizing the minimizing the summary and try to figure out the most critical and important question and how SIPs is tricky the question on that part.
Okay. Okay.
I think
So
really
yeah,
it will be helpful for us.
yeah. I understand.
Yeah, it will be
All right. So
from my side. Yeah, from my side. Yeah, from my side. Every season, I'm buying the SIPs, the Udemy updated one, and it's really helpful to me. But also, we need to understand through this seasons or this meeting classes how steps tricky the questions, tricky the question for the student, make it very tricky.
okay, I understand. So next time then we may come back with N3 and analyze more on how SIP construct their question and some some difficult topics that may come up with the exam within the exam. Okay, I believe that it will be very interesting session. All right, so next week is our holiday, and next week is our holiday, and we may need to see each other again on the 5th of May. I'm sorry. Yeah, the 4th, May 4th, May 4th, May 4th. Okay, so next week I at the holiday I need to visit my in-law family, so not available for the meeting. But on May 4th, then we may have a session on. Okay, let's see. Oh, okay. M3, M4 has a tie. Has a tie. All right. So the 4th and 11. What is the date of exam?
Exam starts on 13th. May 13th to May 17th.
Oh, yeah, from 13 to 20. So in the next two sessions on 4th of May and 11th of May, then we may do M3 and M4. Sorry, I often work toward the demand from students. So I'm sorry for student who has the concern for other modules. Sorry for that, but I need to accommodate the need of most students. All right. So that will be the plan. That will be the plan. We will do next time do again on M3 and especially on trickiest question. And also next week after that, then we do on M4. Also on the same type topic, the trickiest question in M4. All right. So thank you very much for your participation today. And I'm happy that you are very engaging. You are very you deliver pretty interesting idea for me to deliver better to system. Okay, I hope to see you again in other events in the future. Okay, don't worry, you will see the recording, the slide um on Monday. Okay, so see you later. Thank you very much and goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.
Goodbye. Thank you so
Bye.
much.
Sir, goodbye.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Thank you all. Thank you. Bye bye.